AITA for cancelling my wedding after how my fiancé feels about my daughter. When I was 22, I got hitched to my husband, who was 25 at the time. He already had a 2-year-old daughter, and I embraced her as my own. Sadly, my husband passed away when she was only 4. Fast forward, I'm now 34 and been with Jessie, my fiancé, for 8 years. Our daughter Bailey is now 14, and she sees Jesse as her dad. He's always been kind to her, despite knowing about her biological dad's passing. Now I'm 6 months pregnant, and we're all thrilled about the new addition to our family. Jesse shared his desire to adopt Bailey after our wedding as a surprise for her. With our wedding set for August, we're still in the midst of planning, but we did arrange a big dinner and invited our friends. Bailey was staying overnight at a friend's, so she wasn't there with us. Everything seemed perfect, with everyone catching up and enjoying the evening. But then the conversation turned to our wedding plans, and things took a turn for the worse. We were discussing our honeymoon, excited to have Bailey with us as we had planned. However, Jesse suddenly expressed that he didn't want Bailey to come along, which caught me off guard. We had both agreed on it before, so his change of heart surprised me. He went on about how now that we're expecting a biological child, we don't have to pretend to care for my stepdaughter anymore because she wasn't really mine. All of our friends and I were utterly shocked, staring at him like he'd grown an extra head. But he kept on going, ignoring our disbelief. I couldn't take it anymore. In front of everyone, I exploded, telling him that Bailey would always be my priority, and he came last. I asked him to leave, and I called off the wedding. He tried to talk to me, but I wasn't in any state to listen. Thankfully, his friends escorted him out, and a few of my girlfriends stayed with me that night. Jesse kept bombarding my phone, insisting on working things out. But honestly, I don't even want to. I haven't told Bailey what went down and just made up excuses to both our families about why the wedding got called off. Right now, all I want is some peace and for nobody to be upset. But then some of his friends messaged me, saying he has the right to express his feelings and opinions, which left me feeling really confused. Am I the a-hole? Update. Unable to access my previous account, I took the plunge and forged a new one, maintaining the identical name but with a numerical addition. Now on to the latest happenings. Earlier, I engaged in a heartfelt conversation with Bailey, laying bare all my emotions. The weight of my revelations hit her with the force of a freight train, and she found herself unable to contain her tears. Witnessing her anguish tore at my own heartstrings, and all we could do was cling to one another for solace. Bailey found herself burdened with self-blame, convinced that if only she had been a better daughter, Jessie wouldn't have uttered those piercing words. It fell upon me to reassure her, emphasizing that the blame rested nowhere near her doorstep. There's no sugarcoating it, Jessie's behavior was downright despicable and gutless. But despite it all, Bailey stunned me with her capacity for forgiveness, though she emphasized that his hurtful words would linger in her memory. Surprisingly, she still feels his absence and persists in referring to him as Dad, a testament to her remarkable courage and resilience. My determination to shield Bailey from Jessie's toxic influence remains unwavering. Nevertheless, he reached out, requesting a face-to-face conversation in a bid to mend bridges. With reluctance gnawing at me, I reluctantly acquiesced, arranging to meet him the following day in a bustling public setting, ensuring there were witnesses nearby, just in case. Jesse unleashed a torrent of apologies, professing his undying love for both Bailey and our unborn child, and insisting he still desired to marry me. But to my ears, it all rang hollow like a bunch of empty promises. His words reeked of insincerity, and I saw straight through his facade. I didn't mince words in telling him that my trust in him was shattered irreparably. I made it crystal clear that I could never look at him in the same light again. After much contemplation, I resolved that any further interaction with Jessie would only be considered after our daughter is born. Until then, I prefer to maintain my distance, prioritizing the well-being of both Bailey and our unborn child above all else. Jessie's pleas grew more desperate, each one sounding more pitiful than the last, as he begged me to reconsider. But my resolve remained steadfast, and I continued to rebuff his entreaties, unwilling to entertain any notion of reconciliation. Just when I thought I had heard it all, Jesse dropped a bombshell that left me reeling in disbelief. With a heavy heart, he confessed to betraying my trust, admitting to infidelity and revealing that he had been unfaithful with another woman. The shock of his confession hit me like a ton of bricks, leaving me speechless and utterly blindsided. To add insult to injury, he had the audacity to claim that this other woman was somehow superior to me in every conceivable way. It was a gut-wrenching revelation that shattered any lingering illusions I may have harbored about salvaging our relationship. To compound the betrayal, Jesse dropped another bombshell that left me reeling even further. He confessed to having an affair with none other than Carter's wife, his own best friend's spouse, a woman who was not only married but also a mother of 3 children. It was a revelation that struck at the very core of my trust in both Jesse and the bonds of friendship. Yes, you heard it correctly, the same friend who had staunchly defended Jesse in the past was now the unwitting victim of his infidelity. It was a devastating realization, made all the more ironic by the fact that Carter's wife had always shown kindness to me, even as she was clandestinely involved with my fiancé, betraying me in the most intimate of ways. The magnitude of the deceit was staggering, leaving me grappling with feelings of anger, disbelief, and profound hurt. Jesse and that reprehensible woman didn't just shatter one family. Their actions ripped apart the lives of 2, both with innocent children caught in the crossfire. Isn't Jesse just the epitome of integrity? Insert heavy sarcasm here, obviously. After Jesse dropped that bombshell on me, I wasted no time in taking action. I swiftly packed my bags and left, severing all ties with him by blocking him on every platform imaginable. It was a necessary step in reclaiming my peace of mind and protecting myself from further heartache. Summoning all my courage, I reached out to Carter and bravely informed him about Jesse's affair with his wife. To my astonishment, Carter confided that he had harbored suspicions about his wife's behavior for some time now. It was a gut-wrenching revelation, adding another layer of betrayal to an already fraught situation. As it turns out, this wasn't the first time his wife had strayed from their marriage vows, leaving me feeling a profound sense of sympathy and sorrow for Carter and his family. Despite the turbulent circumstances, Jesse mustered up the courage to extend his apologies for not standing by my side. His acknowledgement of our enduring friendship touched me deeply. I found it in my heart to accept his apology, recognizing that his loyalty to his lifelong companion Carter was deeply ingrained. After all, Carter and Jesse had been inseparable since their days in elementary school. With empathy, I assured Carter of my unwavering support during this challenging chapter of his life. Gratefully, he embraced my offer, knowing he wasn't alone in facing the stormy seas ahead. In a bold move, Carter made the decision to confide in our circle of friends about the situation and sever ties with Jesse. Furthermore, he's taking decisive steps to dissolve his marriage to his unfaithful wife. In the midst of this turmoil, we find solace in each other's company, leaning on one another for comfort and strength as we navigate through this tangled web together. Concerned about Bailey, I asked her if she would be interested in seeing a therapist. She agreed, so I'm currently on the lookout for one. Lately, she's been spending more time holed up in her room, only emerging for meals or to use the restroom, so I want to make sure she gets the support she needs. It truly breaks my heart to see Bailey in such a state. She used to be the life of the party, always cheerful and full of energy. Now she's struggling with depression and feeling down. Thankfully, her close friends have been coming over and staying with her, offering some comfort during this difficult time. My family is also planning to visit soon. I made sure to inform both Jesse's family and mine about what happened, and needless to say, they're furious with Jesse. Despite everything, I do intend to maintain contact with Jesse's family. We've always been close, and they played a significant role in raising Bailey. To them, we're family too. Jesse's parents understandably want to see Bailey, as she's their granddaughter. However, for our safety, I'm planning on changing the locks. Even though we have a few big dogs and lots of goats around, I just don't feel secure with just Bailey and me. Fortunately, my best friend Rosie is staying with us, providing us with a lot of support and comfort during this challenging period. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has commented. Your support means the world to me, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. This will likely be my only update, but I wanted to take a moment to say thank you again. Edit. I've received messages suggesting I should consider getting an abortion or not going through with having my child. I want to make it clear that I've made my decision. I will not be getting an abortion, and I am committed to keeping my child. Despite the challenges, I feel blessed to have my daughter, and I believe I can navigate co-parenting with Jesse. Edit 2. To those questioning the authenticity of my story, I understand your skepticism. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how to prove its validity beyond what I've shared. Regarding my old account, I couldn't sign in, which is why I created a new one with a similar name. And for those wondering, I'm not from America. If you still believe it's fake, that's your prerogative.